just unboxed my forge. If you want to see the unboxing and the creation of that, or assembly of that, you can watch my last video. But today I'm actually going to build my first blacksmith product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some 1-inch steel bar, and I'm going to take this and turn it into my first set of tongs. So that'll be my first assembly. What we're going to do is we're going to cut this into 2 1-foot long sections, and then we're going to take it, put a 90-degree turn in it, and then we're going to use a brass pin to hopefully hold that all together nice and tight, and use that until we can get my anvil in. Should be here on Wednesday, so we're looking at mid next week, so I'm excited about that. But this is going to be my first official project, so stay tuned, we'll check it out. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our tape measure and we're going to measure on our piece of steel. We're going to mark 12 inches on both of them. So that's 12 inches right here. And we're going to come from this side and mark 12 inches right here. Alright, and that should leave us with a 1-foot section, or 3 1-foot sections of this steel. So I'm just going to take my hacksaw and go after this. Alright, and then we'll check our measurement on this end, make sure that we're really close there. Looks like I marked just a touch over, so. Alright, then I'm just going to take a file and touch those sharp edges that I created. Not really necessary, but that'll keep me from getting caught on any clothes or anything. Throw that end into the scrap bin. I'm sure I'll need it for something soon enough. For this steel, you can use just about anything. It's I got this at Tractor Supply. I think 3 feet of it was $25–30 or something. It's just a real mild steel. And then we're gonna fire up the forge. So same way we did that last time, we'll just light paper towel, stick that in there and start opening it up. Alright, so my camera died there while I was reheating this up, but it's crazy how fast that oxidized. And I know when you oxidize or get steel oxidized, it rusts. And we just got that nice and red hot. We're gonna put this back on there and finish that 90-degree twist that we started last time. Alright, that worked perfect. Okay, pop that back out of the vise. To kill our forge, and get that back out of there. It's deceiving because it doesn't look like it's hot anymore, but I know better. If you watch long enough, you're gonna get to see me burn myself for the first time, and I know that that's going to make it into a blooper reel. So I'm gonna try and put that off as long as possible. Oh yeah, that is super hot. I don't want to quench it because I want it to remain cool, but you can see here they stayed together, but they got that same twist. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a hole into it. We're going to drill a hole into them, and then we'll put a brass pin through it. And I think that'll hold for a while until we get to a point where we need to or until I can get some better tongs made. But I think this will get me through at least my first couple of projects. Oh, I guess I don't know what temperature that is. Something over 1200 degrees or so. Takes care of those plastic whatchamacallits pretty easily. So there we go. I'll get that, let that cool, and then we'll start on our next thing. Or we'll get these finished up. All right, so now what we're gonna do, that's cooled off a little bit. We're gonna take our 1/8 inch drill bit here, and we're gonna come to where the metal returns to being flat again. So we've got our clamps, and then we've got our 90-degree twist, and then where it gets flat again, we're gonna take this drill bit and we're just gonna punch right through. Oh, guess I didn't quite tighten it down enough. I messed up the chuck in my drill. There we go. Got that taken care of. Oh, I broke off the drill bit. Wow, I didn't realize I was torquing it that much, but man, so I just snapped the drill bit. That's pretty crazy. Did not know that was gonna happen. Pretty cool, but not what I was going for. What I'm gonna do is I've just got a small metal punch here. I'm gonna take my regular old hammer. I'm just gonna put this on there just like that and see if I can drive that through the rest of the way. I'm just gonna keep shearing that off. Here's what I think's gonna happen. So if I undo that, I'm betting if I twist that, yep. Just that right there. This is totally hot. I'm reminding myself of that as much as I'm reminding you. So I don't want to burn myself. I'm just going to drill it out. Take this piece of metal, over there, cool some more, and let's see if I can do that drill. There we go. So yeah, just shear that drill bit off. Pretty smooth like crazy, but I think now we got a pretty crisp hole in there. There's still some stuff in there. What I do is I take away the drill bit and just feed that hole real quick. For our pin, it's just some this brass rod I picked up at Home Depot for a couple dollars. Pretty inexpensive, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get these holes just tight enough that this brass rod will fit right through it, which happens to be 1/8 of an inch. But before we do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna carry these back up, make sure that they're still at least close to the same size. Yeah, we got a nice clean hole all the way through there. So the way these are gonna work is they'll clamp like that and give us a good bite. So what I'm gonna do for that is we're gonna put these back into the vise, and I want to open up the outsides of both of them. So I'm just going to take a cheap screwdriver like this, and I'm going to twist it a little bit on either side. And this is just going to kind of mushroom out this side without messing with the other side too much. And that'll allow that pin to grow on this side and that side. There's probably better tools for this than a old cheap screwdriver, but as I've stated, you want to use what you have. So I'm just gonna see if that'll go through. It's not, it's just a little tight now. I must have. So let's see if we can use a little bit of hammer magic and finish that up. This brass is pretty thin, so what you can do is you can actually just clip it with some dikes. And then we'll loosen that up and place that right on there. Alright, so now you'll see that's going to work pretty clean for giving us a good grasp, or I guess you can't because I'm off camera, but that'll give us a good grasp. But that brass pin is just a tad loose. So what we're going to do now is we're going to peen this in. And this is a method I've used a handful of times now. I use this to repair a handle on a buck knife, and it worked really well. I was really impressed with how easy this was to fuse the metal together. So I did cut it just a little bit long, so we'll smooth it out. You just want a little bit on either side. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've got maybe an 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch on either side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on. I don't have an anvil yet, as I've mentioned. It'll be here soon. And then we're just going to take the hammer and we're just going to kind of flatten it out on this side, then flip it over, do the same thing to this. And we'll flip it back over. And then now we've got some functional tongs. That's not what I was going for. So maybe the brass isn't going to work in the steel. I was afraid that might happen and thought that might open it up, but it might be a little bit too much pressure on there. So what I'm going to try next is I'm going to get myself some 1/8 inch machine bolts and see if I can make something a little bit better out of that. So let me see what I can find. So if you're watching, you just saw me break these off in my first attempt. So I'm now going to try and salvage this idea, but I have 2 brass pins that have been enlarged and are now stuck inside of my steel tongs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat these up, because brass melts at 1700 degrees and steel melts somewhere around 2700 degrees. So I don't think my forge will get up to 27, but I know it'll definitely get up to 7, or I don't think it'll get up to 2700, but I'm sure it'll get up to 1700. So we're gonna superheat this metal, as much for my entertainment as for yours. So we're gonna see how that goes, but it should be kind of fun to watch, see what happens. So I'm just gonna kick this over here. I'm gonna try and get you guys a good view. I'm just gonna toss those in there, right? I'm gonna kind of focus on getting the brass. Sounds like it's kind of huffing and puffing, so that seems a little better. Yeah. Let me get you guys a better view so you can see what I'm seeing. burning the steel at this point. I don't think it can be worked at that temperature. It's I checked at the color temp chart and it says that that's pretty close to 2,500 degrees. So maybe this brass has some sort of alloy in it that allows it to handle temperatures and not melt at I guess I'm going to say a relatively low temperature, but I'm worried about burning the steel at this point, so I'm going to kill the gas and let that soak, and I'll mess with it more once it cools down. It's crazy. There's barely even a change of temperature right here. I'm not sure where all this smoke is coming from though. There's also water back here. I'm not sure where the water came from either. Yeah, there's water on the table. Not sure where what that came from. I'm guessing that that's the source of our smoke as well. Is that that's not so much a smoke as it is a steam. Really interesting. I'm gonna brush this off, or these steel pieces off real quick to knock off some of the oxidizing. Oh, there went the brass though. So I did cook it right out of there, you can tell. Now the hole is smooth and clean. I knocked it out just by hitting it with this brush. Interesting, really cool how that worked out. I wasn't sure how that was gonna go. So I grabbed the other one to see if it did the same. Yep, knocked that brass smooth out. Hey guys, I'm excited today because I have two pieces of rebar here that are about 14 inches long, and I'm gonna turn these into my first set of blacksmithing tongs. So stay tuned, we're gonna get this these forged up. This is just 3/8 inch rebar. Found this actually in the back property. I was out walking around, found these, and I thought, I think I can turn that into some tongs. So we'll see how they turn up. First thing I'm gonna do, get the forge fired up. is we need a 1/4 inch punch to punch through there. So I'm gonna take another piece of rebar, got this one cut to about 4 inches, and I'm just gonna taper that down to a real small point so I can punch through and make my hole for that hinge. Alright, so we've got our tongs pretty well figured out. We're the shape we want them. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on actually punching it. So we're going to take that punch I just made and we're going to heat treat it. We're going to heat treat with water because we're not going to be using this to hone an edge. It's going to be a real quick, kind of dirty, just quick dunk. So I'll show you guys doing that. And I don't know what that pop was. Kind of freaks me out. But it's coming together. So I'm gonna just do a few more picks on that punch, and then we'll work on getting these tongs put together. Alright, so I guess I'm going to have to title what I learned while trying to make tongs, is what I'm going to have to change the title of this video to. As you've seen, we've had several failures. Let's just start with the simplest one. My quarter-inch punch did not hold up to hammering very well. At all, actually. I got some good tapering on there, so I learned how to do that a little better, but it really didn't hold up to this very well. I'm gonna have to do some more research on how to create that. Secondly, this is not what I wanted my completed tongs to look like. I did get the shape I wanted. I'm actually pretty happy with how this one turned out as far as shape. But as you can see, I didn't do a very good job of nailing that, getting that punch centered.
I am pretty happy with how it turned out as far as like the hole. I think it would have actually worked if I'd completed the other side. I may make another video of me making the second half of this. I actually, after this failure, what I think might be better for me, since I'm learning, is to actually just forge one side into the shape you want, and then to make a second one that nearly matches, because I think having too many, I think I learned where that phrase, too many irons in the fire, comes from. I now understand that and grasp it much better. I just had too much going on. I wasn't able to focus. I started working too fast, and so I started making some pretty simple mistakes. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this one as kind of a template, and the next time I fire up the forge, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna try and recreate this almost exactly, and just really focus on this one, and getting it to be as close as I can, and then come around and do the second one and just try and make a match. So I did not make tongs. I have now failed at this twice. I think I might just combine both of those failures into one video, and you guys can have a good laugh with me at my failure of making tongs. And like I said when I started recording, this is gonna be me learning how to do this, not me being perfectly successful at it. So I hope you can learn from my failures. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. Like and subscribe out of faith that one day I will make some tongs that will be functional. They will work. My wife is laughing at me. I'm gonna make, I will do this. It will happen. So you just gotta have faith. All right, love you guys. Have a great day. God bless.